Okay. I want to have a good time today. You understand me?
Same here.
So I wrote a couple extra bars. You don't mind?
I would love to hear them.
And I got a makeshift hook at the end too if you want to do a little harmony at the end too.
No, it's a rap.
Come on,
Do your
man.
thing.
Come on. You got to show them your voice.
Hey,
All right.
brother.
Juneteenth celebration. Doughboy. CT. Justice League. Let's go. Look. Doughboy, I'm a masterpiece. My government name is Anthony. Ain't gonna be another after me. Bet against me's a catastrophe. Today we get to talk to Tangerine.
Hey.
That's CT's wifey.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like me. I tell them get over it, bite me. Either that or you can fight me. I'm two-stepping, brother, sue me. We celebrating on Juneteenth. I be sipping on a smoothie.
Ooh.
The other day I watched a movie. I was scared sitting through it. The movie scene with the Conjuring. Devil made me do it. I'm about to get to it. Episode 21. Justice League, we the best out. I think it's time we poke our chest out. I was sick and tired of feeling left out. I was on the couch, feeling stressed out. Now we walking down the best route. I need more money, need less clout. Test us, get X'd out. All these niggas act crazy. You don't work enough, you lazy. New nickname, Alert Crazy.
No.
I said it last episode. I know you don't like it, I know. Enough bars for the episode 21. Let's go. I messed up at the end. And I had a hook and forgot it.
How did you forget it? It
was like
fire.
Just a sleep podcast. It wasn't.
Oh, hey,
You're not
man,
gonna so crazy ain't gonna stick,
bro. Please,
I know.
Please.
Enough. But I seen them in the comments. I'm a
Bro.
jerk. Won't do it again. That's why I said it as a joke. I'm sorry. We're
I
here.
appreciate your apology, man.
For sure, man. Did you
That
like
means
the
a
rest
lot.
of the rap?
Bro, first of all, let's discuss this, man. Bars.
Thanks, man.
Listen, man. First of all, this is what I get tired of
What do you get tired
in the comments.
Okay.
People like, yo, Doughboy, switch it up or do this, do that. And I'm like, bro, he's literally written bars for at this point when they said the comment, it was like episode 9. I was like, he's written bars for 19 straight
Switch
episodes.
him up.
No rapper has
on.
done this. 19 episodes, and now here we are 21 episodes in, and you've completely changed the flow, you've made this a song.
Man, I got to get you on the hook because a lot of people don't know.
People still ain't happy, man.
You can sing, man.
Well, that's very kind of you. Bro.
I want to hear you sing one day on the Just Us League podcast, but we are
It's one
here
of the
today.
things I'm extremely nervous about. I'm so frightened to do that in front of
Wow.
people.
Let's unpack that.
I sang once. I sang once at a comedy show, right?
Okay.
And here's the interesting thing. I always say, yo, focus on the positive, right?
Okay.
Because the negative, if you focus on the negative, you'll get more negative. So I always try and focus on the positive when it comes to comments, people, life. Man, this was one of those circumstances where I hadn't got there yet. So I'm performing.
What year was this that this happened?
2009.
Okay, so you're about 4 or 5 years into the comedy game at this point.
Yeah. So I started in 2005.
Got it.
So yeah, I think that's 4 years.
Okay.
You're absolutely right. So I'm performing, and I was like, you know what? I'm about to sing this Al Green, and because when you start singing, well, I don't know.
You went straight to Al Green?
Well, I can sing Al Green songs.
Okay, got
So
you.
it was like I'm in the car rehearsing and everything. I got the set perfectly. I start singing it. The crowd is with it. The crowd is with it.
Okay.
One of the homegirls is in the back, and she was like, and I was like,
and it messed you
I
up.
never did it again.
Yo, you are to singing what I am to stand up.
For what you're talking about,
Exactly,
yeah.
because and it scars you, right?
But I kept singing though. Like the audience didn't know because I didn't stop. I kept singing, and then I stopped it, and they were like clapped and everything. But all I could hear was that.
Out of all of that, you know what? The thing that I've always told you this, and I've told you this, a couple of times.
Yeah.
I feel like you're leaving meat on the bone by not singing. Like, bro, there's only a couple comedians that I know that got real dope voices. Off the top of my head, obviously Jamie Foxx, obviously Nate Jackson.
Yeah.
Couple other
Nate's
cats.
is power.
You know what I'm
DC
saying?
can sing. DC Young Fly.
DC Young Fly. I don't know
Yeah.
if he really sings on stage though, but he sings. He has like
Yeah,
a
he be
singing
singing,
career.
yeah.
But bro, you gotta go into that. Go to the places that you're afraid of, which leads me to my second point.
Okay.
First of all, how was your week?
Brother, thank you for asking,
get
man. My week was overall amazing. I entertained some negative energy, and I shouldn't have. But
You want to get into it, or you don't want to go into details?
It
Talk
was
about it.
literally the episode drops
Okay.
Wednesdays. First of all, shout out to everybody,
Yes.
Team CT that has supported the Patreon, subscribed, and all of that, and got the early. Like as soon as we wrap the show,
They get it.
goes on a Patreon. So thank y'all. So the episodes drop on Wednesday.
Right.
When we drop them on
To the general
YouTube and
public.
Facebook to everybody.
Right.
And the first thing I see is, yo, CT always thinks he's right. And I'm like, no, I don't. If you could get Doughboy to stop being wrong, then you would see that I'm wrong too, right? The second thing was like, yo, I don't really like this dude. He talks down to Doughboy. I was like,
What? What?
You're literally the last person I talk down to.
For real?
And because I can talk down to people, but I'm like, bro, not dope. Like you're my equal. You're one of my best friends,
right?
And because my wife, I can't say
you're not.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Yo, why is it so funny? The afterthought to you, like,
he's gonna do your hair. It's like,
I thought you said you give my $20.
Yo, why do niggas never have the same energy to pay you back the money when they borrow it? Do you ever have to hold your hat in your head up? Good brother,
Genius.
They be so humble. Brother, then when you gotta ask for it, man, take your little funky ass $20. Like, why my $20 gotta be funky?
Hold on a second. He want his money back.
Here.
Yeah, bro things. Oh, man, always asking for their money. Okay, here go your little $20.
It's always
little?
funky or little.
Bro.
Or shut up talking to me about this. Whenever somebody say shut up talking to me, that was fighting word.
Yeah, bro.
Shut up.
Where was that energy?
It's never, because they hit you up with the humble ass for like, say,
my God.
how you doing, CT? Man, everything good? Heard everything's all right, man. Yeah, wouldn't even do this under circumstances.
What's cracking?
I'm in between a blessing.
Okay.
And I was just wondering if I could possibly, if you could see it within your heart.
How much you need, bro?
About 300. I could get it back to you on the 4th, but at the very latest, the 7th. Thank you, man. I hear the Cash App now.
Bro.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Now flip it away. Now, 4 months later, I still ain't paid you the money. Now you call me and ask for your money back.
Because you told me it was going to get it next week.
On the 4th.
Yeah.
7th max. But now it's 4 months later.
Oh.
Hello? What? Who this?
Hey, what's up, Doughboy? This your boy CT, man. How you doing, boy?
What's up with you? I'm super busy, bro. What's good, my boy?
Oh, I know you busy and everything,
Yeah.
my guy. I was wondering, man, what's up with the bread? You was paying.
Hold on a sec, babe. Hold on a sec. Hey, get the crab legs off the thing, man. He calling about that little funky little $300.
Does he not
bro,
know I can hear?
Bro, okay, listen, bro. I'm gonna give you a little $300, but you ain't gotta call my phone all the time with that energy, man. It's not good for, you know what I'm saying, my chakra cons.
Well, I had texted you as well, but you didn't.
Nah, man. I've been busy, bro. Listen, bro. This here, I'm gonna send you the money. Here, did you get it? I sent you 305. There's some interest. All right, bro. I'm gonna holler at you later. Bang.
Now you feel bad, and you gave the money.
No, it'd be different when you ask people for money or they ask you. Have you ever had somebody ask you for some money, but you ain't got it, so you make up a lie about why you ain't got it? Like, bro, I just put $4,000 in cryptocurrency.
I just invested in mermaids, man.
Like, what? I'm broke. Like you shouldn't be embarrassed. They're calling you, asking you for the money.
So both y'all ain't got it.
You might as well be like, nigga, how can we team up? Who can we call on a conference call to loan both of us something?
Bro, here's the worst. The worst is when you loan somebody money,
bruh,
and they never bring it up.
Oh, do you see him spending money?
Bro. I've been seeing cats shining. And I'm like,
so you just ain't gonna scooch past this 1,500
because you thought I forgot.
Meanwhile, you still over there on the air mattress, and we know the truth.
Fam. And then they hit you like, hey man, I ain't forgot about that bread. You like,
they be giving you the heads up like I'm gonna give it to you. Hey man, I'm gonna get you. You know, don't worry about it.
When?
But when though?
Am I getting that bread?
All right, so go back to your. Oh, so people were getting on your nerves because of things they were saying in the comments.
And mind you, I got nothing but love for the donation. I named them. I
You
don't even
did.
think they realize.
I'm not that clever.
Nothing. Well, yes, you are. I'm only giving love. You know what I mean? And shout out to Team CT for always having my back and everything. But I think it's a very dangerous thing when it comes to comments, because now it's at a point where if you disagree, I'll give you an example. If I disagree with Doughboy, it's oh my God, I've had enough of this guy. He said he works for that. What's all I got? Well, maybe we all need to give somebody a chance.
Lucifer. But no, man, I think that's good, and I think that we have an amazing audience of people that watch
Yes.
the show. This is our 21st episode. 21 is my favorite number. I was born on the 21st. 2 plus 1 is 3. So I'm here. So other than the people getting on your nerves,
and here's the thing, not all, because I made some statements last week where I definitely was like, hey, yo, you kiss my ass like a fat one.
So you was responding to the drama?
No, I didn't do it this week.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm talking about last week when we talked about it.
Got it.
And shout out to a hurt dog hollers. Right?
I like that.
So when I'm like, yo, to the members of the donation talking out of control, watch yourself, right? So the ones who always are respectful, they still showing love. I'm like, yo, thank you. And then the ones who were offended were the ones that I was talking about.
See?
And that's how it goes.
And then they flip it. Now they're offended. I ain't gonna lie. I know that you're not with none of the comments that when they're talking trash, but one of them was so funny.
Give it to me, because I'm about to bring up comments of the week.
The brother said, from now on, your nickname is gonna be, and they put capital C. I told you I was right. T.
See, that was hilarious. I saw that.
I told him, I was like, listen, I'm here for the defendant of my brother, but nigga, that
was classic.
See, I'm always right, T.
Bro.
All right, so tell us about the positive comments that you got giving some love. What do we call this segment?
This is CTW, man. Comments of the week. We ignore the O.
Boom.
And here's the thing, man. It's definitely no ego thing. I read out the best comments that are usually pertaining to both of us.
Okay.
I'm not a guy that's like, yeah, so this person said, hey, CT, you the best. And I'm like, oh, thank you.
Side note, before you read those comments, I want to give you a public on-air apology.
What happened?
I'm trash as a friend sometimes, and sometimes I don't know it. So, for those of you that don't know, when we do the podcast, we go, so I'll put together the docket. We'll go, boom, we'll shoot it, and then I'm usually in charge of coming up with the clip.
Yes.
So, the clip that I didn't realize how self-consumed I was until last week. So, I made the clip. Now, mind you, this is our podcast. It is me and you, and we try to keep the clips around 3 to 4 minutes at the max, right? So, this clip is about 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and of it, I'm talking about 3:23 of it.
Bam.
And I sent it to you like, hey, man, put this up. And you was like, brother, can I possibly be in here with you? I kind of look like your sidekick, and that's not the first time you've told me.
Jesus.
And I was just like, man, I got to do better. So sorry, it wasn't on purpose.
Thank you.
I just felt like trash, and I was just like, man, wow, like what? You would think something would go off in your head like, brother, you talked the whole time on this clip, but it's y'all's podcast, so my bad.
What it be? First of all, thanks for the apology. It's like, well, you're a Leo. Like, we have a lot of Leo friends. You, Nate Jackson, BT Kingsley. Out of all y'all, Teddy Ray's I didn't know he was a Leo.
He's a Leo, yes.
That's my guy, man. Out of y'all, the Leo characteristic, I'm sorry. The Leo characteristic is look at me, I'm the only thing that matters, right? And out of all y'all, BT is the most low-key Leo.
He really is. He doesn't do a ton of that.
Yeah, he's not the,
well, scarves and light-up shoes can draw a lot of attention.
We're not talking about his fashion.
Shoddy belt buckles and breath will absolutely get your attention.
Talking about this cowboy boots. Bro, are you ready for this? BT and I went to the movies before, bro. So it was Tangerine, myself, BT.
Pause.
Yeah.
Remember when I told you at the beginning I had a bone to pick with you?
Oh, so I didn't realize we weren't finishing.
This is the bone I got to pick with you. Why not get no invites to this? But go ahead and finish your story, young brother. I'll get at you after this. Go ahead.
Cool.
Go ahead.
You didn't get an invite to this because you literally weren't here when we went to the movies. You were doing your TV show at the time.
On Tuesday?
No, I'm talking the story.
The story. It's an old story. I'm talking about this week. Okay, my bad. Because you went to the movies without me this week, and we're gonna talk about it. But finish this up. I'm gonna show you. Okay.
You know who your mama catch you or something? You're like, we went on Tuesday. So this particular story, we got to the movies.
Okay.
And BT was late. He chose the movie, right? Because I was like, you know what? I don't want to feel like I'm always choosing a movie. What movie do you want to see? And at the time, I think it was Paranormal Activity. I think they did like 5 or 6. And out of all of them, there might have been 2 that were good.
Right.
This wasn't one of them. So he's like, yo, we see this. I'm like, all right, cool, man. We gonna go. We go to the movie. All of us are in there except BT.
The one who picked the movie.
He picked the movie. He's late to his own movie. He gets there 20 minutes into the movie, right? The movie's trash. It's so trash. It's in one of those really big theaters, and there are literally only 8 people in there. And this is primetime real estate of a day to see a movie. So I'm already annoyed that this movie's trash. And I'm mad that he picked it, and he's late. End of the movie comes. I say, hey, man, why you late?
Straight to the point.
He has on a tight flannel shirt, a scarf, these black and gray cowboy boots, and these jeans, right?
Cowboy boots?
It gets better. I say, hey, BT, why you late? He was like, oh, man, I had to get dressed. And I
Look like he just blindly went and picked anything and threw it on.
I say, you was late because you put on this bullshit? Listen to me.
This bullshit.
Tangerine let go of my hand. She hit the ground laughing. BT had brought a friend along. She lost it. She cried laughing.
Cause she was rushing him and he was putting his bullshit on.
BT stood there. And he was like, that's why you gaining weight. And I was like, okay. Ooh.
That's what. Ooh. Hit you with a cold dose of truth that had nothing to do with nothing.
Like it was gonna hurt me. And I was
like,
like,
you dropped out of college in the second semester.
Bro.
Social studies, government.
You know what I'm saying? So now the bone to pick with me is that we went to the movies.
What's up, bro? I'm gonna tell you, because I'm laughing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm feeling a certain type of way because y'all called me after. Like, I think because I was trying to text Tangerine. I think I was trying to text you. And then, so I had been in contact with both of y'all during the day. And I'm like, why didn't I get a movie? And then I thought, well, maybe it's just him and her. Mm-hmm. No, her cousins and them was there too. So it wasn't just you and her. Why didn't I get the pick? I cried fully clothed in the shower.
You're lying. I'll tell you. So immediately Tangerine tells me she wants to see the hitman's wife's bodyguard, right? And I was like, okay. Like she had told me this last week, and I'm like, all right, well, I'll make it happen. Mm-hmm. So during the course of the day, I think that was a Tuesday. If today's Friday, it was Wednesday then.
Okay.
Yeah, we went Tuesday. I think Tuesday. It was Tuesday. So we went Tuesday. And I'm like, all right, bet, me and you go. Mm-hmm. And then she was like, my cousin's going to be here at the house in the morning. And I'm like, okay. Mm-hmm. So he comes to the house in the morning. He's kicking it with her all day. And then I'm like, well, okay, I guess let me send him the A-list information. Okay. So cool, he's in, right? And then my cousin, which is also her cousin, but I claim him more than she does. Okay. He's my favorite. I love this guy. DeRay is my cousin. So he is the nephew of her cousin that was there at the house. Right?
Okay, gotcha.
So he's like, yo, man, so my uncle said y'all going to the movies. I'm like, yeah, you could come if you want. Mm-hmm. Here's the theater information. Bam. And then one of the homies from out of town was here, and he was like, hey, I'm here, man. I'm like, we're going to the movies if you want to come.
So he was just popping up?
He just popped up. So I sent the information, like first of all, I'm sorry. I didn't.
I was sitting there like,
I didn't do it on purpose.
Why I don't go?
I thought it was why I don't go.
I won't go.
It was just me and Tangerine, and then it turned to her cousin, another cousin, and a friend. I was like, cool, but I didn't invite anybody.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it's all good, man. I just I just genuinely be like, man, I wanted to go. How was the movie?
Well, I mean, it's not good anymore.
It wasn't good?
I mean, it was amazing, but it doesn't.
That's gonna make it worse.
Comments of the week.
Let's get to it.
So the first oh no boy. Okay. From John Debra. Just want to let you both know that I look forward to this podcast every week. By far my favorite podcast. Keep doing your thing, fellas. I was like, that's so kind of him to say. Okay, cool. Michael Dwayne Paler. I'm going to like and share this video, not because I liked it, and don't be mistaken, I did like it, but because the love you guys show your supporters should be witnessed by as many people as possible. I love that because I don't think people realize, like, when we do this show, we need you to like share it and like it because the analytics,
the algorithms,
man, it shows so much better if you share it and like it, like and comment. Like, we appreciate that.
We definitely appreciate that.
Okay, cool. T-Hawk.
Cool name.
Yes, I guess a cool name.
I'll rock with that.
Donation. Team CT all day. I understand, though, on the driving thing, but good drivers can drive fast, but in control. And I loved that because I had just got off the phone with my mom, who had watched the show.
Your mama called you?
She was like, hey, listen, Listen, CT. I'm like, don't call me that. Don't, because she never calls. She calls me her nickname, but she don't call me that. And she's like, you got to be careful when you're driving because we need you around here, CT. I say,
we just love you, CT. So
comments of the week.
Comments of the week. Shout out to the positivity, and everything else in your week was genuinely okay.
Great, man. I mean, any day that I'm able to have more blessings than things to complain about is the best. Like when you look at your complaint list and you look at the things you have going for yourself in your life, man, champagne problems.
Come on now. And speaking of champagne problems and different things, today is a special day for me.
Really?
You know I'm big on dates. June 18th.
Oh.
And I know I had texted you and said, I don't ever want to talk about things like this on the podcast anymore, but I don't care. June 18th.
Are you saying... Because you called me stern the other day. You say, listen, man,
right.
So there are things I don't want to talk about on the show.
But let me tell you why I was saying it. Just because, like I was telling you, I love how much fun we have. I love how light the banter could be. And I kind of feel like our audience comes to us to kind of escape everything. And I know a lot of times I can bring up, just because they're part of my life, my alcoholism, my bipolarism, different things. And I was just like, I just don't want to, always have it, just too much because, I wanted to just keep it light. But at the end of the day, it's part of my life. So when it comes up, it comes up. I just didn't want to ball hog with
You let a vlogger, first of all, you done an amazing job today.
Thank you.
You let a vlogger this is what I be trying to tell you, bro.
You're right.
You let a vlogger get in your head and immediately affect you to the point where you wanted to change the dynamic of the show. And I said, listen, man, we're always going to have fun, but it's organic. The thing that the people love is how organic and how we just kick it. And then we get to something if we wrote it down.
Other stuff, right.
Instead of, no, let's just stick to the script. You know what I'm saying?
And you're right. So forget everything I said that day. We just talked.
Oh, okay.
You know how I could be. But so June 18th is a big day.
Okay.
Because June 18th last year was the day that I relapsed. After 939 days of sobriety. But to the reason why I'm bringing it up, because when you were talking about just having more blessings and different things, because I just remember the way that I felt, June 18th of 2020, I felt like a failure. I felt like I wasn't going to be able to get back on the wagon. And I just felt like I was just a trash human being, right? But it's all about perspective, because it's all about whatever you believe is true will continue to be true. So for the next 6 months after I started drinking on June 18th, it was just hard. It was just a difficult time. I had a tough go of it. But now I am celebrating 168 days sober.
Wow.
I'm coming up on 6 months, you know what I'm saying? And so it's just a testament to let everybody know, just keep going. Just keep going. So that was a good thing for me, and I'm kind of looking at today like as a positive, not like yesterday was a day I lost something, but today is a day that I keep going.
Yo, let me tell you something about your sobriety, man. The fact that you're able to do anything for an amount of past an hour shows extreme willpower and strength. That's huge, man. Congratulations. You deserve it. You got a crispy cut.
Come on, man. I got the little, I'm starting to get a little curly top, man. I'm trying to bring that back. I don't want to get the S curl in it because one time I did it and it looked like dirty cotton candy. I permed my hair. You ever put S curl in your hair and it get too straight? It looked a mess. I just looked like a dude named Enrique. It was just straight. It was just terrible looking. So I put the grease and the water in it. So that's a good thing. So
yo, you said something on the show with Shantae as a clip, and I was like, this is funny. You said y'all were talking about food and snacks, and you said, you know what they used to call me as a kid? Seconds.
Where's seconds at? I was about to
that was brilliant. Oh man, I couldn't get enough.
So that's something that I'm super happy about. But this is another thing that we kind of got to talk about a little bit. But I got to talk to a doctor this week, psychiatrist to be exact, and they put me on some meds. I don't know if you notice any difference about me, but I'm mood stabilizer, and like Kiara, Tony, they've been able to notice like, yo, you're a little bit, dialed down a little bit. Even when I shot with Shantae the other day, I felt like I could listen more. It didn't feel like I was cutting her off as much. So I'm finally open to taking some medicine, taking my mental health seriously.
That's huge.
And I was always afraid of it just coming up. I don't know why. I just never trusted doctors. I thought they would always lie to me. I would just be like, no, I don't trust you. But
well, these are facts. But the fact that that it's working out is the best thing.
Right. So it's like this is the first time in my life that I finally...
Tuskegee Project. Go ahead. Yeah, you'll be good.
Just take it. But I'm gonna die. We're gonna get the data. So that's my thing. Is like I'm super excited about that. But I had a
wait. Focus on.
This has been a great week,
That's
bro.
amazing.
Yes.
To answer your question, I did notice a difference in you. I see the effort. I see you trying. I also see. It's hard to say that you're in a better mood because you're always in a good mood. But it's like.
It's a little bit more level.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't feel the need to, Tony noticed things like, she was like, you're not on the phone as much. You're not in the comments as much, getting like, because I'll, obsess over things. I've been getting much better sleep. And I just feel like, and this is to anybody, and the reason why a lot of times I bring up things like alcoholism and mental health, because people go through those things.
Yeah,
so I just try to I'm not trying to be like a spokesperson for it, but just letting people know, like, bro, you're not weird if somebody tell you bipolar or got any other type of mental illness. You're not a bad person if you got an addiction or something. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? And you can take your licks and you can keep going. But this is what I wanted to give you your flowers about. About my week that also made it so good. And I want to give a shout out to somebody who I kind of felt wasn't so positive about me. So remember last week.
Okay.
So shout out to Black Babel. I want to say that alive. And I'm going to tell you why. Black Babel was the guy that went out and got the footage. And I seen it. You look like, why are you giving it? No, but listen, because I loved how
the video that you performed.
So, and I was mad at the brother because then I kind of would see how his comments and how he would speak about me. So I was angry with the way that he was talking about me. So like that's even, and plus, seeing that footage, I was like, how dare this dude do this?
Because it was a painful moment.
A painful moment. But I was able to watch the video for the first time, and I've grown so much from it. And I actually needed to see it to grow, and I'll go into that. But so I had already made it up in my mind, like, I'm gonna shout dude out, even if he wasn't having the positive things to say about me.
Yeah.
Just because I want to match. I want to go high when I feel like people are going low. So then he ends up putting a blog up the other day, and he publicly apologized. Because he watches our podcast.
Really?
He was like, yo, I seen what you said, and he kind of cleared it up. It wasn't like he was copping a plea. He was just keeping it respectable. I couldn't do nothing but have love and respect for it back. Unblocked the brother.
That's a blessing.
Said, brother, I wish you the best going your way. So that's just really what I'm trying to do. I just feel like if positivity can be the thing, then that's the thing. But how this affected me? Oh, go ahead.
I'm so glad you said that. I'm glad that you and the brother got a chance to you got a chance to see his perspective and vice versa. And would you say that this is after you got on your meds?
It was.
So that's another plus in the win column.
And I'm just chill. I'm just, you know what I'm saying, a little bit more balanced out. But let me tell you, so I went on stage for the first time since I watched that. Yeah. And I kind of alluded to you yesterday. Bro, I think that you might have helped fix whatever was wrong with me. I really feel like we should come up with like some type of series about you fixing people's issues, because you really did fix it. Like, bro, because I could hear the things that you were saying in my head. So I went out, shout out to my homeboy, Charlie Newhart. He's from Craig Facts Podcast.
Craig Facts.
Yes. So he had a show, you know what I'm saying?
Craig
so I went
Schmidt.
And I did about 15, 20 minutes. And this is what I did. For the first time, I sat down on stage. I've never done that. But I just sat down, and for some reason, it just helped me feel grounded, connected, and safe. And then I just was hearing, I was hearing you, like I was going into jokes, and I was hearing you even like about the hoe, so like, you don't just go straight to the hoe, you give it. And bro, they were eating out of my head. I was just like, I'm no longer afraid.
Nice.
And I think that you gave me this, and if I didn't, then you can correct me, but I think you gave me this a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking, and it was just like, bro, you've already been through the worst stuff in life. Just the worst that they're gonna do is not like your joke. And then me watching the booze, that's the worst that they can do to me. So I just had a great set. I'm feeling so happy about, doing stand-up again. And I have you, one of my best friends, CT, to thank for it.
I appreciate that. Well, the worst thing to do was come up and sock you, but...
And then you start posing again because I see the flash. Finger pistol.
Finger pistol.
Why do niggas do finger pistols? Like, what?
I always hate the middle finger. Like, what is? Are you flipping me off from looking at your picture?
What do you do with your hands in pictures, though? I have lived a life of sometimes I do this, sometimes it's if I'm doing a picture with somebody, hey, look at this guy.
Oh, I'm the king of look at this guy.
Look at this guy?
Oh man, look at him. Don't look at me.
What else do you do?
I'll leave them out. I'll have my pockets. I love having
in the pockets.
Yeah, I love having Tangerine in front of me because that gives me a prop. I'm like,
do you ever just cross them at the bottom like on some penitentiary?
No.
So most things sometimes I was doing a salute.
The salute is cool.
You know what I'm saying?
But here's the problem: don't do the peace sign. I'm a big peace sign like this guy. I don't do the side peace sign because everybody in the picture is doing the side peace sign. So now all y'all look
more
alike.
Like greater to or equal than, really.
Man, everybody hitting you with this. Can somebody be different?
Somebody switch up the monotony.
What is the new nickname?
Oh, so a funny thing about that. I don't have one today, but let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. I didn't have it, and I was rushing today, and I was like, well, just come up. And I said, don't cheapen the brand of new nickname alert. Be man enough to, if you don't have it, don't ruin the essence of it.
I got one for you.
Okay, so let's go ahead and do it.
They call you Doshin spray.
Why do they call me Doshin spray?
Because you got the juice now.
Yo, come on, you gotta help me write these. Doshin spray, because you got the juice now.
Because you got the juice now.
Thank you. We still got one. Rashad, you don't care. Get off the phone, nigga.
Bro.
Yo, I love that Doshin spray.
Doshin spray.
I love that. And I felt bad, so I was like, I'm going to just have to tell him the truth because I ain't got it.
I'm about to tell him the truth.
Because I was just like, I didn't just want to come and when I just hate that look on your face. I'm like, I didn't do it right.
Listen, man, I always look
daddy
forward to
issues
it.
come out.
Speaking of which, we had a conversation. We left last week.
We did.
And I was like, yo, man, who kidnapped you?
So you want me to tell the story?
I mean, no. You told the story last week.
I did.
But I know the people are like, who did it, right? Mm-hmm. And we had a conversation. This is completely up to you. You never feel forced or pressured to do anything. I'm not a peer pressure guy. But I said to you, hey, man, don't ever give a person free rent in your head. Mm-hmm. I say, hey, can you fight this person now? And he was like, man, I'll beat that. I was like, there it is. But anyway.
Right. Nah, man, it was my pops. It was him, you know what I'm saying? And it's not nothing, I'm ashamed of. It's not nothing I'm trying to, villainize him for. It was something that happened in my life. He's atoned for it. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's lived a great, life since then. But it was one of those things that happened. But it was I think I'm just going to have to write a book. I think eventually, because there's so many things that people be having questions for, and I can't always answer things. So I think that I'm just going to have to write a book. But yeah, that was my dad. He was.
I hit you with this. You're powerful, bro.
Thank you, man.
Don't ever let anybody take your power from you, man. I say this to the home girls. I be saying this to the homeboys, to the members of Team CT, donation, whoever's watching, you ain't picked a side. You can be both sides. You can be bipolar or polar.
Polar. Nothing wrong with that.
Bro,
Jesus, I love doing this podcast.
Never let nobody take your power, because that rent, man, I went through that myself. Like, we often talk about the stuff that you've been through, but like, I've had, 2010 was a year for me, you know what I'm saying? And it took so many years to get out of a funk of being afraid. The reason I got into writing was because I was like, oh man, I'm feeling so self-conscious. I need to just be behind the scenes. You know what I mean? And then while you're recovering, then you become you again. You get reminded. It's like the end of the Lion King when Mufasa says to him, remember
who you are.
Simba, go. And I was like, I had the moment.
Absolutely.
So when you have that moment, hopefully it doesn't take a person as long as it did me, but it was like, yo, you have that moment where you remember who you are and then you good.
No, that's it, man. And that's really, really key, just remembering who you are and just stepping into your destiny. So yes, I'm feeling very, very good. Where are we at? Are we ready for our guest yet? Are we feel we got enough stuff out in the open? Is there anything you want to talk about before we bring our very, very special guest?
We did the new nickname alert.
That was fire, by the way.
I appreciate that. That's very kind of you, brother. Always, man. And then we got the stuff off our chest. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, man. I'm going to defend you if anybody say something wild.
Let's just start defending each other. But I'm going to stay. Okay, listen. For my mental health, I'm staying out of the comments for the rest of the year.
For the rest of the year.
So if you guys do get some responses moving forward, just know that it's probably coming from Tony. Speaking on my behalf, I trust her to say whatever.
What if somebody in the comments is like, hey, but you're trying to fuck? And she'll be like, thank you for watching.
We know what you, bitch.
We know what you. Him in the grill. You're like, what is happening? You ain't in the It's like, I get genuine joy from being in the comments, though, because I feel like, yo, you came to my page and showed love. If I'm able to see this, I want to give you some love back, especially the positive and love showing. Right. Because people who show love deserve to get the love back. The people who are negative never get the attention. Right. But it's like, it does become overwhelming at some point where you're like, all right, I can't.
Bro, it's not good for the energy that I have. And just like, like I'm saying,
that's
like,
honest.
And it kind of, I can kind of draw a parallel to why I stopped drinking because sometimes I suffer from depression. Yeah. Alcohol is a depressant. Okay. If you don't want to get depressed, don't drink the depressant. Okay. If I don't want to get depressed by these comments,
don't read
stay out these comments.
That makes
because
sense.
There is a bunch of good stuff in there, but most people know. You know what I mean? Like, you can tell yourself enough good. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that I don't appreciate it. I love it. And it makes me feel good. But the negative stuff, for whatever reason, kind of sticks on me a little bit much. And I'm just trying to keep that positive float going.
The Black Babel. This is the thought that I forgot.
Yes.
I'm glad that you guys had that conversation. I'm
Yes.
glad that he was cool enough to be able to deliver his words to a point that you were understanding. You guys like, all right, cool. I think it's so important for people to know the power of words, man.
Come on.
It doesn't matter how you see somebody. You look at Will Smith and you're like, man, that's Will Smith. Hey, Will Smith, you got a big head. That's still offensive and it could hurt somebody.
Thank you. And why do we act as if we have enough data with social media to know that you're just supposed to be able to just, and
you're a comedian, you should be able to take a joke.
That's what people be, I be reading the comments because there was another vlogger.
You a thug, you should be able to take this bullet.
Exactly. There's another vlogger, not going to mention this vlogger, but I seen in their comments, they were just like, oh, well, Doughboy just needs to get tougher skin. Like, do you know what it's like to have thousands, sometimes hundreds and thousands of people say mean things to you? Like, it's just not good. So yeah, I try to just focus more on the positive, but I get what you're saying. So, but I made a decision. I said for the next 6 months,
like that.
I'm gonna just stay out the comments.
See how you feel.
Stay on my meds. You know, I'm not smoking. I have to give up weed, not smoking, not drinking. I don't know if I said that in here, but no longer smoking. Doc said no more smoking weed. So, you know, I kind of had to let that go because I have to give myself a fighting chance.
Yeah, man.
You know, with the mental health.
And
so,
you're already feeling better, which is great.
You see, I'm drinking. And all these things are connected. This is a water, but, you know, normally what am I in here with?
The
Red
Diet
Bulls,
Coke,
Cokes. Trying to just let that stuff go, drink some water, man, eat some vegetables. So God is good, man.
Hey, your hair look even blacker.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
man. And before we move on, one last thing that I do want to shout out. Kiara made the cheerleading team, varsity.
Congratulations.
Varsity. So she was already on the cheer team, but she had to try out again. And I was already nervous, like, you know, because, you know, you got to set yourself up to, you know, console them if they don't make it.
Yeah.
But she made it, bro.
She's tall.
She is.
Like, listen, she's your twin, but she's going to be taller than you, bro.
I think she might.
I don't know how tall is her mom?
Her mom is like 5'7", 5'8". So her mom's tall. Her dad's a little bit taller than me.
Her mom's dad.
Yeah,
I thought you were talking about Kiara.
And Kiara's dad, I mean, I just been taking care of her. I'm the peppy.
Y'all literally are twins.
Yeah, but shout out to her, man. She's I'm super proud of her, man. She got all A's and a B.
What?
So for her sophomore year in high school, she got all A's, 1 B. Shout out to my baby girl. She got it in, I want to say, geometry.
Oh, they hating.
They be hating.
The fact that she got anything over a C, she killing me.
Exactly. So, bro, I tapped out of math when they put letters in it. I was like, 1X, okay, enough, guys. So what's
pi? What is it? You got a pi, y'all bring it in.
Give me 3.14 pies. I don't give a damn what. That long number pi never really got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, yes. Our special guest today is long overdue. The most important person in my life next to my mom. She is here. She is my wife. She is an accomplished actress. She is a producer. She is a writer. She is a director. She is a comedian. Ladies and gentlemen, Tangerine Thomas.
Hey!
Can you throw us up all on screen, Rochelle? Tangerine. Tanjar.
Spell it right. TANJ.
It's right here.
It's right there on
yes.
that.
Thanks for
Somebody
that
made a comment. Hey, what's up, Tang?
Damn, I always get the
Tang, bro.
Astronaut drink. What's up, fellas?
How are you doing today?
Smell great.
I'm always tantastic. Thank you for that compliment. Thank you for that intro. Congrats on giving up the marijuana so you can actually be sober now. You've been talking about sobriety for a long time. I'm proud of you.
I was calling you to talk to you about it this week. You never called me back, but I'm not going to put you on blast on the show.
It's okay because I was busy moving and you offered to help us and never showed up, but I'm not going to put you on blast.
I got no viable comeback. You got to eat that.
I was going to say the meds are making you pettier, and then she matched your petty. So I'm going to say both y'all.
And I don't have any meds to blame it on.
Side note.
She should have been in the middle, Rashad, because from what you were saying earlier, my eyes look up to the... Anyway, go ahead.
Side note, got to give you your props for being on your petty stuff. I meant to bring the evidence of your pettiness.
Oh, yeah?
So you had went out of town.
Yes.
And Tony had asked you to get a magnet.
To Detroit. Which you and I will be... I'm performing at Burt's on the east side, August 13th through the 15th. I'm bringing Doughboy with me.
Yay!
We're going to have us a good time in the city of Detroit.
Yes.
Get your tickets, man.
Boom. And so she had asked you to get us a magnet because I collect them.
Yes.
And when you had came home, you had forgot.
Yes. Which hurt my feelings because I'm a man of my word.
You are.
So when I say I'm going to do something, I do it.
You do
so it was like, it had completely slipped my mind.
And she calls you out on it. We were doing a text about something totally, completely unrelated. And so then you were just like, all right. cool, you got me.
Cool.
Next day comes.
I apologized.
You apologize.
Because I was wrong.
Because you were wrong. Next day comes. I get a call from CT. I'm doing something. I'm walking around the house. Then I get a text.
I'm doing something. I'm walking around
the
the
house. I'm pacing.
Very busy stuff. It's very important.
I can't take a call right now.
And so then he was like, where are you? Open the door. Soon as you say it, I hear knock, knock, knock. I'm like, is he at my house? You popping up, CT? I'm like, well, what do you want? So I go to the door. There's a package there. And so I'm like, what? And so he's like, there's a package there. So then I go and I'm like, then I start to put, I said, if this nigga just did what I think he did, I'll go into the room, pull it out, and you had sent a Detroit magnet. Shout out to you. That was a very petty thing, but I loved it. So you handled your business. So
I wasn't trying to be petty. It was me trying to keep my word.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like I said, when I get my word, I like to keep it. Mm-hmm. But also, they be stealing Amazon packages. So I needed you to open that door. Because if they're taking it.
Excuse me. Do I have anything... Sorry.
Uh-oh.
Why are you buying another bitch gifts when you go out of town? Why are you feeling obligated to bring souvenirs back when you go to your hometown? You didn't bring me nothing back when you went to Detroit. You feel you gotta buy her something? You forgot because you wasn't supposed to do it.
Can I answer?
I had nothing to do with this.
Can I answer?
Go ahead.
Because she asked. Anyway.
F that.
So,
F that.
Tangerine, you are here with us. We got a ton of things that we want to talk about with you. First of all, because you guys are married,
okay,
I thought that this would be a great thing. So I want to shout out this brother. His name is Xavier C. Miller. He's on Instagram. He's a cryptocurrency guy. Boom, boom, boom. But he had put out a series of tweets that I thought were utterly fascinating about the state of marriage. And since you two are married, I wanted to get what your two's opinion on this. It's 5 complete tweets, but I'll just read them all off and we could just talk about the sum of what he said. Okay. He says, and I quote, about 40 to 50% of couples in the U.S. get divorced, but the divorce rate for couples making $250,000 plus is less than 20%. Successful people understand that marriage and family is a business, and it's more about duty to one another opposed to a fairy tale. That's one. Broke people usually base their marriage and relationships on love, and that's why they usually end. I'm not saying you shouldn't love your partner, because you should, but I am saying the foundation should be about duty and commitment to one another more than anything. That's 2. Third one. Hold on one second. Oh, I got my phone on. What's it called? Let me take it off. Hold on. Okay.
Yeah.
I was excited to do the show because I thought I was going to get a docket. Okay. You guys are always talking about a docket.
I sent the docket to see. I should have sent it to you.
You knew I was coming. Right?
I'm trash.
I mean, also, you're a guest, so you don't need a docket.
My bad. I should have sent you that. Here's the third one. This is why arranged marriages statistically last so much longer. They understand these principles. And the last 2. If you plan to be with someone for life, the odds of you always being in love with them is slim. There will more than likely be moments of strife. And if love is the only thing you value, you will leave. But understanding that it's about duty and commitment is how you weather storms. The last one. Love is nothing but a feeling, and feelings change like the weather. But to value, understand, and commit to the duty you have and made an oath to is how you'll get 20, 30, 50 years plus in.
He's really in love with DUTY. Jesus Christ. He said that every single slide.
So, duty aside, how do you guys feel about this? Because I, as a person who is not married, but I am engaged.
You're not engaged.
I will be engaged one day in my mind.
You're not engaged.
They said that in a secret to speak these things into existence. That's what they said.
You know, also, words without action are just words.
We live together.
You're shacking up.
I rub her feet.
You're living in sin.
And?
I've ate her butt before.
Listen, man, my mama watching.
I'm sorry. Cut that out, Rashad. I'm sorry. Okay, so
Jesus.
As a person who hasn't been married before,
Did
you say you haven't been married?
I was married for 84 days.
Did you forget that you had been married?
I had forgotten.
You brought her to our family camping trip.
And that was the beginning of
and
the
that's when you that was what made
That's when I knew. I was like, yeah.
Tangerine, this is the funny part. When he brought his ex-wife, first of all, nothing but love
Shout out to her. Yeah.
She's a super dope young lady.
Yes.
Team Gemini.
When he brought her to the camping trip, all y'all did was argue.
All they did
to
was
where
argue.
the point that the family, Tangerine's family, was like, hey,
I'll never forget that.
I don't think y'all need to be together.
This is when I knew something was wrong. Somebody from your family, I forgot who it was.
His name's Orthy.
Orthy Winfrey. He's related to Oprah Winfrey. Speaking of Dofra,
really?
Dofra Winfrey that you called yourself last time.
So he had said to me, and so because she had said something to him and whatever, and then he just like, we were all like, I don't know if you guys even remember this. We were all like in a circle, and she said something to him, and he was just like, hey man, I'm not even finna respond to you because I see how you talk to your husband, and you ain't finna be talking to me like that. And I never, I just remember feeling just like, I'll leave.
Bitch, I'll leave.
So, but no, I haven't been married before, but
wait,
I do.
What did you just say?
Jeez, I just said it again. Okay, I have been married before, but okay, I plan to get married again.
There we go.
I'm not a pro at marriage.
I'm sorry, donation. That was it was a problem that I reminded him that he was married.
Okay, so I failed at marriage,
Jesus.
but I do think that there is a lot of credence into what this brother is saying because I feel like I have placed way too much value on love, feelings, emotion, and not more on stability, business, and like-minded goals. So how do you guys feel being together for so long? Like, do you guys feel like this guy is onto something or is he full of crap?
Tangerine?
I wholeheartedly agree with the 5 statements he made.
Mm-hmm.
I've been telling people this for years because love, you feel love strongly at some point. It fades, it comes back, but you have to have a commitment that's based in some other things as well to make it last because 50% of marriages end in divorce. I have a whole comedy set about that. And we still keep getting married and still keep trying to do the same things. The arranged marriage part, I think for number 3, that's why they say together, they're not allowed to break up. Like, it's not an option. They weren't allowed to choose their
divorce?
partner. No, just like they couldn't choose
arranged.
their partner, they can't get a divorce. So that's another thing. And there's certain religions that don't allow you to get divorced either. But absolutely, I think when you're committed and when you're making more money, you realize, or when you have a lot more, kids, a lot more assets together, it just becomes like, what are we doing?
Right. So you're saying that if there aren't those other things to anchor it, then the love is not going to keep the ship there. Essentially. I'm paraphrasing.
It's easier to break up if you don't have anything to lose.
What are your thoughts, C. Tizzle?
My thoughts of this, man. I love Tangerine, but if I just loved her, we'd have been broke up a long time ago. I mean, Tangerine made sense on paper for me to start dating her before we even became a couple. And then it was like more things looked better on paper. But the foundation for us was love, our friendship, the laughing, the things we had in common, our goals, things that we knew that we needed to succeed in life. And a lot of those things were intertwined within the things that made me love her. So if it was just blindly, oh man, I love her, man, she cute. Like, cute gonna get old. She gonna
cute gonna get old.
She gonna take some pictures that I don't like at some point where I'm gonna be like, eek, you know what I'm saying? And vice versa.
Right.
So it's like you need to have more than, oh man, I love her, man.
No, I definitely feel like that because I definitely feel like if you're broke, sex is harder. I just feel like I can't really get into it if my phone is on a payment arrangement or something to that effect. It's tough for me.
That depends on the person because you can look at things like Maury's show and see all the trailer trash people who are there making kids out of wedlock while they also have a woman they're sleeping with. They're home all day with no money. So sometimes broke people, all they do is have sex because they don't have the money to go out and, they're not busy.
But I don't know. I just think that there was something apart. Like if I wasn't making any, because I've been broke. I've been broker than broke at times. I don't know. I just feel like it was like if I'm the man of the house that maybe I shouldn't be like, hey, if I'm not handling the other stuff, if that makes sense.
If you broke, there is no house. There is.
It's an air mattress.
You're trying to get it together. Like, listen, man, go ahead, Tangerine.
Oh, I was just going to say back to what you said about you don't agree with the guy's statements. I think you're very sensitive as a person, Doughboy. You are extremely, I think your love language is quality time and physical touch.
Yeah, how you know?
So that's why, because I watch you. I've known you for years. I think I met you the year after I met him, if not 6 months later. But I know.
You met him 2 years after me.
Okay, baby. You're the boss. You're the husband. No problem.
51%. Cool.
I have that. But
no, you know what it just turned into? So Naeem
Are we
Lynn,
jumping you?
No. Naeem Lynn has a joke, and this is going to set it up perfectly for these comments. So Naeem has a joke where he says, I hate telling people my name because they always get it wrong. And when I correct them, now I'm the asshole. So it's like, he's like, hey, how you doing, Neem? He's like, it's actually Naeem. And they say, excuse the fuck out of me, Naeem. So it's literally that. Like, I'm just telling you what it was. Like, she always thinks she met you, BT, and Nate around the time she met me. And I'm like, no, that's not the truth.
When did y'all meet?
So we met in 2008. right?
Okay.
She met you when you came down in late 2009.
Okay.
BT she met end of 2008, almost top of 2009.
So I literally said I met you the year after I met CT, and then you said no.
That's actually
and then
exactly
you just
what she said.
a
Hey,
year.
Tangerine.
So you could have just let me finish what I was saying about this. That's my
Tangerine.
love.
I was wrong. Excuse me. You wasn't so fucking used to talking. You could have heard the damn apology.
So you guys are basically you're on the side of what he's saying for the most part,
Absolutely.
and you're partially.
Partially. No, I mean, I agree. I mean, listen, man, marriage isn't just about the feeling that you have today. Marriage is about what you're trying to accomplish with this person. Here's the better thing. I don't see how people get married that don't have goals. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
if you're both, let's say, for example, you both are in college and one wants to be a doctor, one doesn't know what they want to do yet.
Right.
I don't know how you marry this person.
If you love them.
No.
Because there's a lot of people that are going in different paths in their lives that end up married, but
I didn't
they have
say
the
that
love
they have to be on the same path. I said they don't have goals.
Right.
So it's like if you're aimlessly in this relationship without any expectation for what you want to do with your life, then you're wasting somebody else's time.
But what if it takes you some time to figure out what you want? Because it takes some people a little bit longer to figure it out. Like,
you're right.
this is what I'm on. So if I don't start doing comedy till 26, like, is everything that I'm doing before that more doomed because I don't know exactly where I'm going?
No, and I would never think that in your 20s, I'm saying two people who have goals for a relationship and for themselves is better off than people who are just figuring it out. That statistic that you just read
I got you.
proves my point.
Right.
Like, people who are yes.
Oh, no, the hand was to let you finish, sir.
Go ahead.
I was going to say I agree with that, and to just let the audience know that goals could also just be a woman who says she wants to keep a happy home and make sure her husband comes home to peace, or a man who says, I want to have a basketball team worth of kids or something like that. The goals don't necessarily have to be
career oriented.
They
but
could
they're
be
goals.
Yeah, right. but I'm agreeing with CT.
The goals just need to be aligned in the same places. It's kind of like the gist of what you're saying.
I mean, if you're going to be a doctor and I'm not
whatever the goals are,
whatever
the goals are, just if you got to want to do something, and then y'all kind of got to be like, yeah, this works. Because if you don't have that conversation, if you're just going off the fascination of, oh, I love you, this is some bomb sex, you might forget about those important things, and then that might come to haunt you later in a relationship.
So if you're a doctor and this person is saying, I want to do something with my life, but I don't know what it is, but while we're on this path, I'm wholeheartedly supporting you, and then when I figure it out, we're going to do that, or we're going to combine both, then that's an agreeable thing to do within a marriage of you saying you have goals. And that doesn't have to just be marriage. It could be a regular relationship. It could be a friendship. Why are we friends? What are our goals? We began our friendship because we were like, yo, we're funny. We know where we want to end up in our careers. How do we get there? We have an end goal for our friendship.
Okay.
But if we were just like, oh man, you smoke, I smoke, let's start hanging out. Like, that's not a good foundation.
That's not a fruitful relationship or a long term. Okay,
and
that
even
makes
when
more sense to me.
CT and I were first dating, we had a big dry erase board with our goals of what we wanted to accomplish together and separately. And we just started checking things off. So I think that is what helps people stay together, when they have something to support each other with.
That's one thing that, no, I definitely agree with that. And that's one thing I can definitely say watching you guys in your relationship. I feel like you guys have definitely both made each other better. So if you know, so I just remember how you used to be. Not saying that you guys were bad at all, but it's just like I think you guys both had great potential. But I think once you guys joined it, it's just like it was just kind of multiplied the
It's
resources.
also nonverbal. That's very kind of you to say. Thank you. We also have a lot of nonverbals of, like she said, we had these goals together, right? So when it came to us moving recently, it was like I had never had a credit score.
Right.
I had never had a credit score because my mother taught me as a kid, which I'm so glad she did. She said, don't get a credit card early. Don't get a lot of this debt because you're going to be ruined, right? And I was always scared to get a credit card because I also didn't understand it. Nobody explained it to me. So I never had a credit score. The only thing on my credit at the time was that eviction in 07 from having roommates,
Uh-huh.
and or 09, I should say, from having roommates, and student loans, right? Paid the student loans off because that's the benefit, only going for 1 year. I owed $3,000, and I was damn for years if I was gonna pay it back. Anyway, so all these years I didn't have a score, and then right before we moved, she sends me an email, and on the email it said I had a credit score of 800.
Now, how did that even happen? Like, so you went from not having one to having one?
But this is what I'm saying, the nonverbals of a relationship. It's like she knew our goals from the beginning, and she knew what we had to do in order to get to the next level of our living life, right? And she did the steps necessary to make it happen.
That's dope.
Tangerine.
Man.
You have an 808 credit score
I
and an
appreciate
812.
808s and
I have
heartbreaks.
an 822.
Wow. That means y'all see, and this just shows that you guys are much more responsible than a person like me. Because if they gave a nigga like me 808, I'd have $250,000 of a credit line today.
You said
I'd be balling.
And then buy what?
And then I'd go bankrupt and be like, well, I'm going to run it up again. So y'all are definitely much better than I am. And I just love how that's just dope. So what made you know to go and build his credit score? You just knew he wasn't going to go and do it? You were just like, I can just do this behind the scenes to set him up.
Well, it wasn't even a fact of if he was going to do it. I knew I didn't want him to have credit cards because I know when you have credit cards, it's tempting to use them a little, use them a little, use them a little. And the next thing you know, you're up to your limit. And they go, oh, well, let me give you a little more limit. And that's the thing. And everybody thinks that they can handle the limit. But there's a $1 trillion industry that knows your habits. And they know if they just keep easing up that limit, you're going to go into debt, and then you're going to owe them way more than you borrowed.
Absolutely.
So I knew I didn't want him to have a car, but I knew that we wanted to purchase property and, build a life together. So it was like, okay, we got to figure this out in a way that we can't go into debt, but we can flip the system the way we need to get what we need.
That is so dope and Black excellence.
Hey, man.
And when you think about it, I feel like the system is so rigged for everybody to go into debt because they tell you the first thing that you got to do is go to college. And when you go to college, the first thing, unless you just got deep pockets, you're going to go into debt instantly. They don't teach you about financial literacy in school.
On purpose.
And then you just out. So you graduate college and you got a piece of paper and $100,000 in debt.
If they taught financial literacy in school or high school or college, the credit industry would be immediately down.
Well, then why don't? But it's better for the people and it's better for the world. So I
Listen,
get frustrated.
Go ahead, Tangerine.
They need you to be in debt as soon as you get out of school so that you'll take a job and be a slave to it and be unhappy, but be doing what they need you to do to continue to be the sheeple that they need you to be. That's
What
why
is a sheeple?
Sheeple, people, sheep that just follow the herd.
People.
Sheeple.
Oh, okay, got it. I've
Yes.
never
And that's
heard that
not
term.
to say that anybody with a job is that.
No.
We're saying that certain things put you in such a position that you have to accept something that you wouldn't accept.
Right.
So
I'm
it's
saying
like,
people who don't like their jobs
Exactly.
feel like they can't leave their
because
job
you have this financial
because you're
obligation.
in debt, or they offered you some benefits for health, which if you lived a healthy lifestyle, you wouldn't need to have that health care. But don't get me started. But yeah, it's all part of their plan.
Yeah, I feel like they do it, and I mean, I'm not trying to turn it to like a financial class, but I'm just like, I think they do that everywhere they do it in. So they put you in debt with your student loans, and if you want to go buy a house, you're going to be in debt for that. If you go get a car, you're going to get it. But these are all things that you think that
there's
you
more
need,
money
but
in the treatment than the cure in every form of life. So
Facts.
that's why. So they did the thing that they needed. Man, let me tell you something. Rashad is killing these cherries.
I told him to have as many as he
Doughboy
wants.
gave Rashad a bag of cherries at the beginning of the show, and he is destroyed.
I wanted him to. I want him to live his life. I said, brother.
But cherries are my very favorite fruit in the entire world.
That's why I
so
brought
my
them.
face lit up when I saw them, and then when I came in for my segment, they were gone. I didn't know where they went.
They are right there. You can have as many as you want after.
Hello, Rashad.
Yes.
You just been dipping your hand in there, though? How you been getting them out?
Well, I mean, technically, they're his.
They're his now.
You gave him the entire...
No, I brought them, but but if it's fine.
You brought them because you knew they were my favorite, and then you gave them to the sound guy?
Nobody knew they were your favorite.
Clearly a
Tangerine.
nigga that's be lying.
It's all good. It's all good.
So let's go into our docket. So we that we haven't touched. I know we only have a few minutes left, but I kind of want to skip the docket and just kind of learn some stuff about Tangerine. Tangerine's a very interesting person.
Well, the other question that you had at the top of the thing before the tweets were what?
Is cheating grounds for divorce? And Saweetie says no to returning gifts. Which one sounds more like you guys want to
start with the
bite into
first
it?
one.
Okay, so the reason why is cheating grounds for divorce. Hold on one second. Turn my airplane mode off. Okay. I don't know why I keep doing that. Okay. I am an idiot. There we go. So Lala and Carmelo divorced. And prayers out to them for whatever they do. I always try to stay respectful when I'm talking about people's relationships. But
none of my business.
They got a divorce, and basically it was, linked to cheating, to him. So that basically he allegedly had cheated before. They got back together, tried again, and then some more cheating stuff came out. So with you two, what I'm saying, like as being married people, is cheating grounds for leaving? And let me flush out the question before you just give me your answer. Because what I believe is in relationships, nobody's perfect. People make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? In life in general. So I don't know why in certain arenas in our life, we don't give people grace, empathy, not even try to understand. It's just like, oh, you hurt me. I'm going to leave you. Everything that we built, everything that we created, everything that was everything is now gone because you were human and made a mistake. Now, even though the mistake hurts me, I still got to be able to separate it. And I think I have a little bit of a skill in that to be able to to love somebody and hate what they did and not totally say this cannot be fixed. So what would you guys say?
You can separate the art from the artist.
Absolutely.
Nice shirt. Are you wearing a crystal?
This is a rose quartz.
This
is about self-healing and self-acceptance.
And
so
love.
It's a crystal.
And love. Yeah, it is a crystal though. But it's
dope,
the one that's called is rose quartz. I gave up all the fake bling, and I met a lady at a place and she was selling stuff and she was like, I usually sell this for whatever price, but I'll give it to you at half price because you look like you're dealing with self-acceptance issues. I don't know if that was just a sales kick or she could see something, but ever since I've got it, I've loved myself a little bit more.
As soon as you walked away, I usually don't.
Don't burst his bubble.
So, yeah.
Why did you walk away?
I usually flash forward, she never even gave it to me half off. It was a regular price.
Exactly. How would you know?
So Tangerine, what are your thoughts?
So what are your thoughts on if your husband is if infidelity happens and he cheats, are you just leaving? Or is that grounds for ending a marriage?
You sound like you've never seen any of our sketches.
I've watched y'all sketches, but I'm just saying. Okay, well
How long you been faithful, baby?
Hella months.
So we've been together for 11 years.
So let me frame it like this then. What would be considered a cheat if it's anything outside of what's agreed upon in marriage? So whatever people have, and all marriages and relationships are different. So whatever is agreed upon, if we say this is what we agree on, you could do all the things in this bowl, but then the person goes and does something out that bowl that you and you feel like you were lied to or let on. Is that enough to leave and say, okay, I'm out of here, I'm gonna go find somebody else?
Well, I don't think like the average woman, so I'm not the person that's like, oh, you did this, you hurt me one time, I'm gonna leave. I'm also not
an idiot. Exactly. She's not an idiot.
So I'm also not a broken person who is gonna let somebody abuse me and me be sad and beaten down and wishing things were different.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm a pretty confident. I know what I want. I know what I demand in our relationship. I know what we have is very special, and I wouldn't get this from any other person or any other type of relationship. So I'm not willing to get rid of that.
That was sweet.
Over,
never heard her say that.
Well, it's true. And we all know that, usually people break up because of finances or sex.
Yeah.
Right.
And the sex could be, them not having it or having it too much or them having it outside their relationship or them being broke. So I made my mind up before we were married that those two things wouldn't get in the way. Okay. And we would just, build an empire, create wealth together and have our own standards and our own agreements and stick within those.
Okay. So as long as those are met, you're good. But if something's tapping outside of that box and you say this is the rules, this is what it is. But
she said no outside kids, and I had been scared. I was like, all right.
so is that the deal breaker? So if it's a kid that comes home, then that's deal breaker.
Batting 1,000, baby.
I did ask for that, but I don't want to keep saying it because the secret teaches us, law of attraction. If you keep saying it, you continue to put it in the universe, and the next thing you know, he'll be like, surprise.
Oh,
so I don't want to keep focusing on that, but that would be something that would be a difficult thing to deal with.
Right.
But
But you're saying for the most part, if it's a cheating thing, that's not enough to end a marriage.
I grew up with all guys, my male cousins, my father, my uncles. I saw that my brother, my play brother, I saw how they loved their main woman so much, treated her like a queen. But every now and then they did something on the side. And it didn't take away the love from that main woman at all. It's just them being a man. I also realized in nature, a woman can only be pregnant one at a time, where a guy can impregnate a bunch of people in the same week.
Cold game.
And so I know there's something there just in the wild kingdom, the animal kingdom. And we as a culture have created this thing. And I was told that the Pope and the Catholics did it years ago for tax reasons. They told you one guy, one girl get together. You know, it was a government thing, it was a political thing, but that wasn't necessarily naturally how we were supposed to be. Even biblically, you see there's all these concubines with the kings.
Wives, right.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, if you can afford to have a lot of wives and you can provide for them and they give you kids, you know, whatever your agreement is, do your thing.
But why do you, okay, I want to get your thoughts on this. Go ahead. What?
All right.
Hop in here.
Shit.
Because I have another question.
I have no. So for me, to the original question, is not a deal breaker because, listen, man, I'm a realist, bro. Mm-hmm. And also to the ladies who are watching, the ladies who are going to be commenting, the guys who are going to be commenting, she's speaking for her. She's not speaking for you. And if you are somebody who's in a relationship and you think it can't happen to you, surprise, it's happening now.
Yeah, everybody's in an open relationship, whether you realize it or not. Yeah,
wait.
Sorry.
So you mean that Tony could at some point step out on me, if that's the truth?
I don't want to need to put that
Have
in your
you
head,
looked
brother.
through her phone lately?
Tangerine.
Listen,
don't.
last time I tried to look through her phone, she wouldn't let me look through it.
Okay, so
She
let's
wouldn't let me
move
look
on.
through it.
What were you saying, CT?
We're not doing that. That's none of our business.
We're
What I
talking
will
about
say,
it.
We're talking about cheating.
No,
How was
we're
it?
talking about it. We can
I
tell you.
said that is none of our business.
He already answered the question. He's not allowed to look in his girl's phone.
I can look at her phone after
What's
she
her-
gets the
do you-
stuff that she don't want me to see out of it.
But you know what? Because quality time and physical touch are important to you, you don't
Right.
mind that she may have things going on the side.
Nah, I'll be minding like a motherfucker.
You don't mind.
What are your thoughts? We keep cutting CT off. Go ahead, CT.
I don't think it's enough because, one, I was raised, I had both parents. My mother always kept it funky with me, man. She was like, look, your granddaddy had a girlfriend, your grandma had a boyfriend. I say, what? And she's like, yeah. She's like, look, you're going to find somebody that you love. You know, hopefully both of you guys are, you know, each other's onlys, but that's not realistic. And she told me the game. My father, God rest his soul, told me certain things that I shan't repeat.
And that is a word. I looked it up. I looked it up.
Anyway, so that isn't enough for me, man. I think Tangerine, and also I don't own anybody. I've said this on shows before. I don't own her. She doesn't own me. You are with somebody and you guys made a commitment, and a lot of people say, well, what about your vows? Do you realize everybody has a different set of vows? You could literally have a vow to say, yo, I'm gonna buy you Cheez-Its every other Friday. Are you down with that?
Every other Friday?
Like, vows are what you make them.
But there's the stuff that you say with the preacher, though, that for sickness and in health and all that
Listen,
stuff.
It can be whatever you want it to be.
whatever you want to
You
do.
can
Ours was
remix that
lit.
thing?
You were at our
I was
wedding.
there.
We've had
I didn't have the
we had
tech stuff.
PS4 station, PS4. We had PlayStation jokes in our vows. Like it was not. We didn't make a mockery of the vows. We had some serious ones, but then we had some jokes in there too.
But we had them catered towards us. Everybody's relationship is not a one size fits all. Okay. Whatever you choose to do and whatever your spouse leads you to believe that y'all are doing is up to y'all. It's not about what this couple is doing. You need to judge it because you can't judge it because it's not your house. If you eat a salad, it won't make me use the bathroom. So it's about what you want your fit to be.
But see, and this is
and
a
you have some people who are like, yo, I don't want to know about this, or I do want to know about this. So it's all different types of things that go into relationships.
I'm a want to knower, just for the record. Go ahead.
See, and that's the thing. So, and this is a fascinating topic because I have fear of being cheated on because I've seen everyone cheat. In my family, it was rampant. In my church, it was rampant.
But you've been cheated on several
and I've
times.
Cheated.
And you've cheated.
And so it makes me believe, for whatever reason, that it's inevitable that it's going to happen. But when I try to breach
I
the
wasn't going to say he was cheated. But, yeah.
I've cheated before. I have. But
Saw my boy out. I'm trying to keep
I've
him as the
heard
victim.
him say it on the
I've
show.
cheated.
That's the only reason I said
now I
it.
haven't cheated in the relationship that I'm in, but I've cheated before. But my thing is that when I think about, first of all, whenever I breach the conversation with a woman, like, can that even, women are not open to that. So I mean, the fact that it's being kind of talked about that maybe either I'm saying it wrong or I'm picking the wrong woman or whatever. But whenever I've said anything, whether it be a swinger lifestyle or can I just have a honeycomb hideout, whatever, it's always no, you're only going to be with me. And then I'll be like, yeah, then you'll only be with me.
You don't want a swinger's lifestyle, by the way.
But see,
Yeah, he's too sensitive.
But maybe I would want it.
He crying in the parties.
But tears is lubrication.
Listen, Tangerine.
I'm sorry.
I am not going to allow you to keep talking
I
about
thought you was only gonna be with me tonight. You was on his way longer than you was on my trunk. Oh, sorry.
Listen, I'm just saying for the weirdness of certain couples, like, you know, you might be like, ooh, look at her. And then the dude is like,
So creepy.
So,
but my thing is that my fear is that I can never find a woman that will just be with just me.
you found it.
But
yeah, you have that. Your future wife, your fiance.
of course, that's what I believe. But then when you have conversations like this, and then you hear that so many, and this is my biggest fear. My biggest fear isn't just going out and doing something. I'm not the type that can have sex and just be like, I don't care. Like, I'll like you. Like, I'll just like, I'll be like, where you finna go? Like, you know, like, I
What
can't.
you mean you know
I don't
what
have,
you smashed
I don't
up?
have the ability to just be like.
That's why he's been in our life all this time, CT. Because me and Anthony
Sorry, man,
used to
we're
sleep
not talking
together.
about it. But
I know how to tell you.
I don't know how to just have emotionless sex. And I will find feelings because I'll just be like, yo, man, you're dope. And so I would feel like if I did have, like, let's just say Tony said, go ahead, smash whatever one of them girls.
She'd never say it.
Why not? But apparently other women say it to their niggas. Why wouldn't my
She's
girls?
not every girl. And I'll say that goes back to your original topic, which means that just because this person is doing it, you got to have more foundation than the love. Your big fear is, I'm afraid I'm going to get cheated on. Then you're speaking that into existence.
And you're going to get cheated on.
But when I talk to people, especially good friends like y'all, and when I hear your guys is, you know, how you guys are talking, like how, you know, people in your life have told you, you know, people are cheating. People in your life told you people. So it just starts to make you feel like it's inevitably going to happen. I think sometimes I self-sabotage relationships because of it. And I'm not trying to have that fear. I want to believe that this is the only woman and she'll only want to be with me. But then sometimes when I think about it, I don't think that that's
Here's the
attainable.
question. What's the worst that can happen if you found out that your girlfriend had sex with one other person? What's the worst that could happen? Why is this such a big fear?
Because I feel like
that you're not enough.
Yeah, like you had to go get something from another dude that you couldn't get from me. Like,
what if she got a gangbang? Then would you feel better? Oh, she had to get.
She had to have 7 at a time.
I don't know if my heart is ready for just even the thought of it. It's tough, like, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's why I act the way that I act in relationships. And usually there's a time in a relationship where my self-sabotaging behaviors come up because of the fear of exactly what we're talking about. It's like I fear it that it will
conquer it.
And I put that on my arm so I can have fruitful relationship. Faith and fear can't live together, but I be scared.
You starting to run out of space on that arm. You got a lot of taps.
So hold on, before we keep going, I know I keep seeing the time. Do you have somebody else coming in right now? Do we have to cut this right this second? Because I love this conversation, but if y'all want to cut it, we can. Can we? If you want, okay, cool.
He's asking us because the engineer keeps doing all these signs.
Gangster.
He opened up the door. He looked over at it.
Because it was hot, but that's hilarious.
Okay, so basically what you guys are saying is not a deal breaker. It's, you know, it can be moved on.
Well, you know what? And I want to tell you why I say that. We've been together 11 years, bro.
Right.
We've been married this past May for 7 years. We live a completely different life than anybody we know in a relationship. Right. We're happy. We enjoy each other's company. She's still my best friend, and she's gorgeous. My thing is, I'm no longer in a new relationship. In the new part of a relationship, you're like, oh man, yeah, and this better happen. It's foundations. However you got with your spouse is how you guys typically stay. That's why when people introduce things 10 years in, that's when the relationship buckles. So 10 years in, you're like, you know what? I think I want a threesome. Oh my God, I can't believe, like from day one, when we were just friends, she already knew who I was and how I was.
And we had long conversations about the type of relationship we would have before we got
right?
serious.
So then it's like you get in this relationship and I'm not stupid. I'm not blind. She's not stupid. She's not blind. It's like, I'm not going to switch it up for her and be like, yo, you know what? Like we've talked about, hey, what if we added a sister wife? And we had a conversation. And I was like, I don't think I want a sister wife.
And that's like another person that's just there all the time.
Yeah, it's a sister wife. It's like she's there with us. She lives with us. And then we really thought about it. We were like, man, what if she don't eat the stuff we eat? Like, you got to think about stuff like that.
What if she doesn't have the hygiene we have?
What if she doesn't? What if she like snores to where we can't sleep?
What if she don't like the movies you guys like?
All of that, bro. And these are possibilities. These are real possibilities. Then you're like, do we all sleep in the same bed? Do we go out separately? And when you start thinking beyond just smashing another chick, then you really think like, do I want this?
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like really weigh the options. Like when you like, man, I want a threesome. I'm like, I don't think you want one because I've been there and it's a lot of work, bro.
Oh, I had one. It wasn't a memorable thing at all.
You told us on the show?
Me and two big girls. It was
in a shower,
a half shower. And it was a lot of body parts in that thing. Nobody was fully submerged in water. It was a whole thing. But no, so that's the thing with that. Like I hear what you guys are saying. I just wish that there was a way. So let me ask you this, because what I'm gauging from what you guys are saying is that more than anything, you guys communicate about all these things. So it doesn't seem like there's a ton of surprises. Like communication is there.
It's key.
How does a person in a relationship, i.e. this guy, like how do you even breach that conversation with a woman without making her feel disrespected, violated, and like you ain't shit dude trying to just go smash a bunch of other girls? Like how can that be communicated without coming off as disrespectful in your relationship?
The exact same way that you tell her that you don't like something that she did. It's the exact same energy. Okay. Hey, babe, we need to talk. Hey, I want to run something by you. Let's have this conversation. When we talk, it's a conversation. It's not a yelling match. She doesn't raise her voice at me. I'm the one who yells, and I don't even be doing that no more. It's like when you've been with a person long enough, you just know how to communicate. You also know how to push each other's buttons. I think that it's always important to come from a place of respect because, again, you don't own anybody. Ain't nobody's mama, nobody's daddy. So you need to talk to them and say what you want. They can't whoop you.
Right. I'll be having that fear too. So I think I just need, and not saying that I'm not happy in my relationship. Shout out to Tony. You got a lot
of fear for somebody with 51%.
He doesn't really have it. That's what we're learning.
I got 51%.
We can tell that you don't.
Use it. She lets me use it tonight.
That's hilarious.
Let's shift a little bit because I didn't want to get out of here without at least talking about how Tangerine is one of the most dopest actresses in the world. Can you please just give us a little insight to just the people that don't know your story and how you came into the acting game and what you do about that, things you got going now, because people need to know how much you've been bodying the acting game for as long amount of a time as you have been and all the other stuff you do.
Okay, you want me to do this in 60 seconds?
No, we're not rushing. We're out of school.
Oh, okay.
He's black too. It's Juneteenth.
Because he's black? Happy Juneteenth, everyone.
You said with the exaggerated eye roll? Niggas. Niggas gon' nig.
In 60 seconds, that would be great.
Okay, I started acting when I was 6 years old at a school play. That's when I realized I wanted to do that for a living. My mom told me I still needed to go to college, so I got really good grades in school, went to college, got a degree in television and film production, have a production company now called Citric Cinema Incorporated. Been on a lot of sitcoms from back in the day and some new ones. I'm on all 8 seasons of the show Family Time that CT is also on. He also was a writer on it. I'm on a show called Millennials. They shoot in the same studio. They're airing at the same time. That one's on the all black streaming app. Family Time is on the Bounce channel. I was in the movie I Got the Hookup Part 2 that came out last year. The sequel that took, 21 years to make from Master P. I was in the movie Miss March, the movie Johnson Family Vacation.
And Tangerine.
Yes, Cedric used my real name. Thank you so much for that, Cedric. I have 2 live shows that I do on Facebook and YouTube that are part of my shutdown series. When the lockdown happened, I decided not to just sit home eating, ordering DoorDash and getting, watching Netflix. I made a show on Tuesdays called Tangerine's Top Talent. I host it, I produce it, I direct it. And on Thursdays, I do Shoot Your Shot. Shout out to the mug. I see you guys always have merch, so I brought a mug. Shoot Your Shot, the first and only quarantine dating game show on Thursdays. And then I do an after show with an interview of the guest, and that goes on my OnlyFans page. Yes, I have an OnlyFans page as a wife, but
ain't no porn.
But it's not porn. And I have a podcast about sex and relationships called the Celibate and Info Podcast. It's on my OnlyFans page. I also sell merch on Tangerine.com. This is some of my merch, wife piece. So if you feel like you are worthy of the ring or you are already having the ring, you can get you some merch. I have,
or if you're being told that you're constantly somebody's fiance, you can get it.
I like that because wife piece, because the side piece is a thing. Now you got wife piece.
Exactly.
I like that.
And that's me. That's my silhouette that makes the eye in the middle of those and everything. But yeah, I just I'm an all around entertainer. I don't have a plan B for this. I also host live events, boxing matches, bar mitzvahs, weddings.
Hustler.
I'm a reverend, so I can officiate the wedding. I can then host the reception for the wedding. I'm doing all I can so that I can create my own schedule.
Man, I love that. And what would you say to the young Tangerine out there, or just young ladies out there that are aspiring to do something similar to what you're doing? Do you have any advice to these young ladies trying to get in the game and put a stamp on it like you have?
Absolutely. They're living in the best time right now. They can create their own content. They don't have to ask permission. They don't have to audition. They don't have to beg. They can just use their smartphone, create whatever they want if it's industry related. If it's not industry related, they can go on YouTube and learn how to do it and be great at it. I mean, they're so empowered. They're so much more empowered than our parents were. Our parents did feel they needed to go to college to get a degree and spend all that money and be in debt. But we can learn anything except maybe heart surgery. We can learn it online and be good at it. And if we find enough people to support us, we can be billionaires before we're even 30 years old.
There are 5-year-old YouTubers making bank.
Exactly.
On Twitch making millions.
Exactly.
Ain't even got to finish 5th grade. They don't tell you that.
And you never need to solve for 1x. You never need algebra for this stuff.
Exactly. Nah, man, and thank you for that, because you're one of my favorite people, man. Like, and I'm not just saying that because you're here or because you're CT's wife or because we're on this camera. Like, you're one of my favorite people in the world because you're always positive. You've always helped me to believe in myself, even when, I was 400 pounds on Riverton, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember all of that. So thank you for being so dope. Thank you for coming and blessing our podcast.
Thanks for having me. And I'm trying to force myself to call you Doughboy, because I don't like calling you that, because it just...
You're the only person that calls me that.
But you keep saying it on the show and you got the donation. So I'm like, okay, I got to call him Doughboy now, because he has a whole fan base now with that dough, and you got to do nickname alert. But
Anthony
yes,
is fine for me. Thank you for always being you. Did you want to tell them where they can find you, all that good stuff, before we get out of here?
I'm on all social media sites. If you know how to spell my name, it's not spelled like the fruit. It's TanJareen. Go to tangerine.com to hit the store to find my social media sites. But everything is just Tangerine, unless it's my Facebook and Instagram. Then it's official Tangerine. But again, spell my name right, you'll find me everywhere.
And it's Tanj is Tanj. Tang is Tang. Don't say autocorrect. Proofread before you press send.
Yes. And I have been Doughboy.
As always, I'm CT. Here's the thing, man. I got nothing but love. Team CT, thank you. Donation, thank you. Team Tangerine, appreciate the love always. All the positive love and support, the outpour for the show. Thank you. It means so much. We're trying to get some sponsorship. So if you own a company,
come on.
If you do whatever your company is, if you got some goods that you would like for us to shout out, you want to get in touch with us to be a sponsor on the show, we would love to give you guys some more eyes on your product as well. All you got to do is DM us, and we will go about how you get us the stuff and how we could talk about it. And that is it. Team CT all day.
Yes, this has been my favorite episode, not just because it was 21.
Say that every week.
Not just because Tangerine was here, but this is a great conversation. Justice League, till next time. Peace.
Hey, thanks for having me. Bye.
Oh, thanks for being here.